BMW. Hey, what's up guys, how are you today? Welcome to my vlog. Now I'm coming back from my brother's and I do have a story to tell you, and it's to do with councils and people. So come on mate, come on Skoda. Dude, I'm here mate, don't turn into me. It's not my fault, the Skoda is slow. That guy with a Ford, man. Good guy Ford. So yeah, anyway, back to the topic, right? So I have a story for you. I'm coming back from my brother, and where my brother lives there's no parking permits, right? So I can go visit him any time of day, any day of the week, and I don't have to pay for my bike. Or if someone else visits by car, for example, yeah, they don't have to pay for that. They just park, you know, find a space, park over there, and just visit person, like normal kind of stuff, right? Now you cannot do that in my neighborhood because everywhere is fucking... Everywhere's there's what was it called? Parking permits, right? So in order for you to visit me, kind of thing, even on a bike, I have to give you a permit, basically. Even on a bike. Some councils in the past, it used to be in the past where you could park your motorbike for free, even in permit-only bays. Bays. What did I say? Base. Yeah, base. It sounded like base, like a military base. In base, yeah. So basically, even on a motorcycle, I have to give you a permit. Buy it through the internet or give you like from a book of permits. I have to give you a permit for you to stand there, basically. Even if you have a motorbike. Obviously that for a car, obviously you need that. So yeah, I have a book of permits in order for someone to visit me, even if it's like a British gas or something, they're coming over to fix something or something like that. Yeah, I have to have a permit for that, because otherwise, let me change lanes quickly, because otherwise they just get a ticket, right? They get the fine. Now my brother doesn't have that. He doesn't have to deal with that kind of crap, so he doesn't have to have those book kind of permits. They doesn't have to go on the internet and book someone day before or something like that, or the same day or whatever. He doesn't have to deal with that because the parking is free. They say, okay, so what's your story? So the story is, some people from the neighborhood where my brother lives went to council. Like, they went to the council with a petition to put fucking parking bays inside on those streets that don't have them. So literally, it's not just one or two streets, it's like the whole fucking neighborhood of bays, which is like, I don't know, 20 streets or something like that. People themselves, it's not like council initiated that. No, the people themselves went and tried to shit underneath their own doorstep. Now literally, that is what happens. Like, people are idiots. Because imagine if this passes, imagine what's gonna happen. You will have to pay for the permit. So every visitor and everything, even if you are doing some construction work in your house, people who come over to you, you will have to buy the permits. And now, for example, in my council, that's a bit different because I have 150 hours per year to use. 150 hours per year to use on parking permits. So if I book someone for a whole day, that counts like 8 hours. So imagine if you have a builder and it's like the project is 2 months. It's like, let's call it like, you know, 40 days, let's say, because they don't work on Saturdays, for example, and Sundays. So let's just call it 40 days. The project lasts, I don't know, you're doing an extension. 40 days, that's 40 times 8. You're already over your limit. Literally, you're already over your limit. You cannot do that. What happens, even if it's a month, for example, let's say it's 8 hours times 20. Okay, you're within the limit, let's say. But then what? For example, family wants to visit, you don't have permits for them because you did an extension that year or something. That's it. I suppose you can go to the council and then, you know, ask them for more hours. Probably you pay for that as well. But that's what I'm saying, you know, why would you shoot yourself in the leg? And the same people who are complaining that because we don't have a parking space, right? Because other people, apparently it's not other people, it's basically there is a gym in the area, right? Because that was the whole briefing. My brother went there, and you know, the whole briefing, he's against the idea obviously for permits, but the whole briefing was about literally there's one gym in the area and 20 streets cannot contain some people going visiting the gym, going by car basically, and the residents cannot park. Now I understand you cannot park, okay, that's annoying, sure, I understand that, but at the same time, you know, if you do a permit, you have to pay for those permits, and every visitor will have to pay, and every this and then it's money all the time. Now depends on what type of permits they do. It's like sorry, what type of period they do. So for example, from let's say 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, that wouldn't be so bad, I suppose. From 9 o'clock to like 3 o'clock, that wouldn't be so bad, or to 4 o'clock, for example. Now, if I want to visit, for example, and without Saturday and Sunday, so you can still visit people and stuff like that, I suppose that would be fine. Yeah, but what if they do, you know, from Monday to Saturday? You know, they actually ask those type of questions to my brother. You know, what type of permits would you like to see? So imagine other people respond with, how about, you know, from Monday to Saturday, and then you just have to pay a permit for even a visitor. If I go visit my brother on Saturday, I cannot do that because I'm on a bike. Even on a bike, you cannot do that. Most councils don't allow that anymore. Where I could just park for free in a permit bay. This council used to have that, doesn't anymore. And yeah, obviously, you know, you're fucked. So you shoot yourself in the leg. You shit underneath your own own doorstep. And yeah, obviously people are opposing it, but that's what I'm saying. If the people themselves go to the council, because some people, like minority, huge minority, I suppose, because they didn't get from 20 streets, they didn't get most signs. It's just a petition. Maybe they got 20 signs or something like that. I don't know exactly the number. Maybe they got 20 signs. They went to council, and the council said, "Okay, we will review that," and obviously, you know, ask other people. So if other people agree, or whether they agree or don't, like Sadiq Khan did, like 59% people disagreed, and he still fucking went with it. Don't give a shit. Well then, obviously you're gonna have parking permits. Whereas if they didn't go, then shit in their, you know, underneath their own doorstep, that wouldn't be the case. So for council, that's a win situation, you know, because they can make profit out of it. Yeah, they can just draw some lines, post like 3 signs on each street, and rake in money later on. Like after a year or two, the money is gonna be simply a return. So the initial investment will be returned in like a year or 2 or something. That's it. It's just painting some lines and posting like 3 fucking signs to tell people what time, you know, the bay is operating, and that kind of thing, you know. And it's that kind of stupidity. And then later on, I can tell you that it's like I wasn't wrong about stupid ultra low emission zone, that people will be pissed, and I'm probably not going to be wrong if that goes live for my brother permit, kind of the area where he lives. If that goes live, I'm pretty sure the same people who went to the council with that idea will 3 years or whatever later cry that they have to pay for parking, and they have to pay, for example, 100 or whatever amount of pounds. Because if you have, at least in my council, I don't know other councils, that's tied to your emissions. So even if your car is Euro 4, for example, for petrol, but still has, you know, high emissions, just barely, for example, passes Euro 4, you're gonna pay for that car. You're gonna pay the top kind of amount of money for it. At least, as I said, in my council, because I don't know how that works with other councils, so I cannot tell you. But I suppose it's going to be the same based on emissions. And as I say, it depends how much council's going to charge as well. Like some councils maybe charge more, some less. Maybe it's the area. I have no idea, to be honest. But yeah, you shoot yourself effectively in your own leg. So with that type of idea, you shoot underneath your own doorstep, basically. So that's the story he told me about, because it's it's just stupid, man. Why would you do that to yourself and on your own street? Like, a lot of people would love to have no parking permits. I literally would love to have that, because some people pay, like I told you, like over 100 quid per year just to have a parking space, whereas without those bays you would have that for free, and they have it for free, but they don't want it. I know that, for example, on towards Stanford Hill, the communities over there fighting over the right to have no parking bays. So they're paying for it. They want to have no parking bays. They want to have, you know, freedom of parking wherever they want on their streets. And I think that's a good freedom to have. And again, for visitors and stuff like that, if you're building something and so on, it's like you don't have to worry about permits. They just, you know, you can just it's the same with a skip, for example. If you order a skip on a permit, you have to pay for the permit and stuff like that. Not sure how that works without the permit road. If you can just place a skip over there, there's no permit, I suppose, so you don't have to have a permit, I guess. But if you have permits on your road, if you are building something and you need a skip, you're gonna pay for the permit for the skip to stand there. So not only do you pay for the skip itself, you also pay for the permit, a weekly permit, I think it is, for the skip to be even put there, basically. So I'm saying, it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like effectively shooting yourself in the leg, literally. But yeah, that's the story basically. I think that these idiots will regret it, going to the council and not complaining even, like, oh, we want parking permits on our street. And then I think they're gonna regret it later on, because they're gonna cry, oh, we have to pay now. Yeah, obviously, but why did you go to the council in the first place, mate? No shit's given. It's a fucking attitude, yeah? No shit's given. I mean, he stopped at least, so at least that much. So yeah, anyway, that is the story, you know. People are idiots sometimes. They're going and shitting underneath their own doorstep sometimes. And then later on, like I said, they're gonna cry because they have to pay permits or whatever, right? They don't see the big picture kind of thing. And then later on they complain, oh, we have to pay. Well, whose fault is it? It's your own fault. So you cannot blame it on councils or the politicians. It's your own bullshit, you know. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. I will see you in my next vlog video, whatever it's gonna be. And blast out.